Hello everyone. Right now is getting the March, and all the time the March is simultaneously between the St. Patrick's and the Persian New Year ancient ceremony. The first one is St. Patrick, I think, based on the Christianity of the Irish history, as the name is comes. And secondly, Iranians and Persians ones is 15th century, 16th century before Christianity, and as a puzzle and paradox and like a whole the world and whole the culture, the people is living together and they don't know what to do. Some of the religious holy books is inside of the nature between the other item and symbolic tray like some fruits or flowers and mm, part of the new year as a new spring and agriculture. And when they ask, they say it's okay. That is not okay. So, and right now, 44 years swamp of the inflation, and they try to get out, and poorer, and literacy, and no time for reading and thinking. What is important right now? I'm a Canadian citizen, 16 years I came here, and which I didn't know that as my horticulture diploma, which I learned right now and got the motivation, and then by moving to the Alberta as a rebirth, as a new province and as a new life to prove that what does it mean new spring and how to pragmatism apply action make a happiness to know. So first of the symptoms of the spring is green, and green part is remind us to the lawn, turf, and sod. But what's the difference between those? A lawn usually is a natural green part of the any angiosperm. Yes, gymnosperm, excuse me. Angiosperm means two cotyledons of the seeds like broad beans, like all the beans. But when talking about the monocotyledons, means the seed has just one segment. So the best one of this family, there are a lot, but the one of those in the lawn we can call to the lilium, and we can call to the poa is part of that in the nature. And ryegrass as a nature, there's a lot, and as a grass and grassland, grazing, but for the for the animals they're using as a nature. But the point here, when talk about the turf, whenever you breeding the seeds and the using in the horticulture for the aesthetic inside of the park, and when using for the some athletic purpose, like golf or like soccer or any field. So this is comes to the turf, and when you make a company and make breeding the seeds and collecting the seeds and sowing the seeds and make cutting the grass and selling it as a roll to the retailer, this is called sod. So, what is the difference between the sods, and this is important. So, as the Louis Pasteur, I mean, says to the students, we is best things in the life we have to know and enjoy of the knowing, which is in philosophy is called epistemology. So when you play as a fashion, as you want to be Western culture, you want to play golf. So okay, so you have to know what the grass is, and what's the difference between grass and the fundamental. To know that is better than just go and just want to play the golf, right? So, different between the grasses. First of all, the golf course. Okay, I don't want to talk about the soccer right now. Usually, the golf course is a different part. Is a fairway, is a and the rough, and the green part. Fairway usually is using of depend. The weather of the Alberta and is more tough, rough, because has some fluctuation of the weather. So it is cold and suddenly drought. So best one we using the bluegrass, or we call Kentucky. Kentucky has a different species and variety. Some is fine, some is coarse seeds, and is a popular shot, and we can use in the golf course as well, like a backyard, and sometimes the Kentucky is mixing a little bit with the Festuca. Festuca in the Alberta, but in the ryegrass usually, because it has a temperate rainforest zone in Victoria, Chilliwack, and Abbotsford. So they're using that mixture with the bluegrass for their golf course, and Alberta usually use more Festuca. But sometimes Festuca, ryegrass, and as a little mixed together, and mainly Kentucky. This is a fairway rough. Usually is because it's not on the tee part, in the side of the tee part in the golf course, which I worked. I mean, 2 months in the Toro, Nova Scotia, as a part of my mental health, and it's okay. It's okay. They cannot defeat me. As I said, no people can defeat the knowledge. No people can defeat the science, and no people can defeat the philosophy of immigration, the meaning of the citizenship, So, okay, yes, 15th century or 4000, for example, no people can forget the Pythagorean, no people can forget the, the Heracles, they are all the time, Archimedes, they are all the time we talk about the basic of vessel, we have to talk about the Archimedes, because the base of the, you know, uh, geometry of the vessels inside the floating is by him. So knowledge never will disappear, The Khayyam from Persia is never be, because whenever we using the calendar like this, for example, the February has a 28 days in. The principle is made by the Khayyam, and it's very look like, I mean, the principle of the Persian calendar and the European calendar is based on the 12 months for 4 seasons, and that is different from the China on the other side. Point here on the continue on a golf course and the turf and the sod, very important to see what's different. My kids ask me, okay, this is that when I'm playing on a whole side. This is the green part. The grass is very tender. It has a very, very tiny and more carpety, so more matte. What's the product? That is a bent grass, or agrostis. The scientific name agrostis is a bent grass. This is the family is a poaceae, but we mix with the poa, the other called poa annua, and sometimes the green part. Very sensitive to the ice, tough ice, -40. So we have to take care of this part in the winter time, and not let the too much be damaged, so we have to clean the snow as much as we can, this kind of the part in the circle in the golf courses. And point is here, sanding all the time, sometimes has some patch, and the top dressing of the seeds on it, and the fertilizer, and the topsoil is very important, have to be sandy loam, and because no compaction, the roots is some very doesn't have too many crown and canopy of the roots inside, just a 3-4 inch maximum. But so green part is very important to be take care of, and the main part of the golf course is here. And so some province in the United States, but the weather is different. So I'm just talking about theory. I have to work in the Alberta at least 1 year, 2 years, to get a more elaboration detail, because by working you get a knowledge. Like, I mean, why you don't like to the campus too much? Campus just theoric, a little bit, yes, training, but you have to work a lot, as a profession, to notice that when they combine the theory and the work together, you will be master, so you all the time learning. So best grower who has a connection with the campus and get some advice from the campus or training center, and they professionally, they are grower in the flower or vegetable and gardening, so has a knowledge based on the research and the academic, and they have a pragmatism of experience, which is a need the farmer gardener knows, and feel and touch the plants by love and passion. Now, so we talk about the several parts. So right now we know what is the fairway, what is the rough way, what is the green part, and the Kentucky ryegrass, and the festuca it can be mixed together for the rough and fairway, and the green part is more is a grass this as a bent grass with tiny seeds by pour a little bit pour together for some golf course, So all which I said is partly what about the new day and the ceremony of the Nowruz, and this is just a ceremony and tradition. What is the important is the science to know what green means and what the seeds means. So always reading the horticulture, reading the gardening, and enjoy the life with the nature, and forget the superstitious, bigot, bias, and because not only brings the kind and gentle and discipline, just bring the hatred and the rag and irritate and annoy and the bad behavior. So talk about the green, and I talk about the golf course, about the grass turf, and made happy in my inside, and I know any people will be happy by the green and plants and botany. So happy new spring. Thank you.